Luck be a lady tonight. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck, if you've ever been a lady to begin with, luck be a lady tonight.
And good evening, everybody. This is Kanuki, and welcome to your Division 5D of GMan, FIDI. And this is week 3. We're going to do something a bit different. Joining me live is Mr. Lord Statslord.
Hello, everybody. In FIDI, I'm Lord Statslord.
And so, given that all of the games so far, and we're just going to ignore the 4th game because, I'm sorry, everyone. I have a life and work responsibilities. I have to go away, and I won't be available to watch the 4th game. And all of the other 3 games have been streamed very entertainingly and effectively by our various streamer coaches, which we had Viking Cop yesterday, Dreamify, and Mr. Booms joining the streaming legends of Division 5D as well. So all of those games are available for you to go and watch if you haven't watched already, and I'm sure most of you have. So instead of going through highlights and discussing what happened during the game, because you all know, we're going to do something a bit different. We are going to look at a new feature of ReBBL.net and how it integrates with a certain tool called the BB2 Replayer 1.2.2.
Ooh, what's that?
Well, let me tell you, Blood Bowl 2 Replayer, also known as BB2 Replayer, is a little tool that allows you to take any game, any replay file, and analyze the game. It has a little viewer, so you can go through the match in a fumble-style replay, but it also has something known as... What is it known as? It is known as the Luck Analyzer TM. Actually, that's not the name, but we'll get into that a bit later. But first, I'll show you guys and girls how one can...
No go.
There's many girls in Blood Bowl. How one can go and see your own matches and download, thanks to the brilliant, Mr. Majorbyte, who has added a new feature I only noticed this week during the replay of my own division. And if we would go into week 3 and go into, for example, Very High Heels against Horror Hordes 1-1, you will notice something perhaps new. A lovely little icon of Bob and Jim.
It's our friends.
At the top corner. And if one would click on this, it would download a BBRZ file for that match. And a BBRZ file, as we all know, is a Blood Bowl replay file.
I knew that, yeah.
Yeah, everyone knew this, yes. And what can one do with this? Well, let me tell you. One can boot up this little magic machine, Blood Bowl 2 Replayer dot 1.2.2, and then thence go into that little application, and that is Very High Heels 1-1 versus Horror Hordes, and we can open match in a replay viewer. And here you would have a very simple way to scroll through how the game progresses.
Is this I can't see it.
You can't see
Is
it.
it in a new window?
Oh, I haven't shared that. Is it not sharing it on the...
I've got the replayer, but it's just showing like a team info.
Oh, yes, of course. That's true, because it's a separate window. So
This is very advanced. Incredibly high technology.
Let me find a new replay window for you. There we go. Thank you for pointing that out to me, Mr. Lord Statslord.
You're welcome. This is incredible.
Yes. So from thence, within the replayer, one can quickly scroll through in a fumble-style replayer view all of the moves of that match.
This is how I envision games in my mind.
Precisely, in old fumble/BB1 days. But one also can choose show dice luck, and I'm probably sure that this is not going to show unless I change to another window. There we go.
Oh, yeah, no, that's up. Look at that.
Look at that. So this is what we have as a very live view of our first match that we're going to talk about. Very High Heels versus the Horror Hordes. That would be our very good friends, Booms and Necro Jester 77.
Necro Jester 77.
Well, you know, I put the Necro in there just in case you've forgotten what race he's playing, as I didn't completely.
Of course not.
Of course not. So what we have here, for your information, as if you were completely new to this fascinating tool, which I know you're not.
Of course, yes. I am actually completely brand new to this tool. You're going to have to walk me through every step of the way.
All right. So, essentially, unlike the stats and the probabilities breakdown at the end of a Blood Bowl 2 cyanide type perspective, where your own armor dice and Kaz dice are counted for you as if they were positive things that you got rolled sixes then. Here, it basically takes each event and decides what is the chance of a positive result here and what is the likelihood of a negative result. And then, based on the dice, gives you a cumulative score, adding either a negative or a positive to your cumulative score and saying, okay, based on the probability that something good would happen and something bad would happen, that would count against your luck. Whereas if something was more likely to be a bad outcome, but you got a good outcome, it would create a cumulative net positive effect on each of these. So we can see going down each single event, whether it's a dodge, a block, armor dice, even the kickoff events, the casualty rolls, the passes, the all of these things, that anything that needs to roll dice in Blood Bowl counts as an event. And one can scroll through the entire game. And then this graph sort of shows the cumulative swings of the dice over the course of a match.
So as a layman, is this are both teams a bit unlucky in this game? Is that what it's saying here?
On the net, yes. So with the zero line being drawn horizontally, as it tends to be, both of them at the end are quite a bit on the unlucky side. But of course, if both coaches are a bit unlucky, that usually balances out. But sometimes more interesting are the swings and the key events over the course of a game, whereas one team will get a positive upswing, the other team will get a negative downswing, and then some of those things will change over the course of the game. Even if which is why even if you look at the sort of cumulative dice in Blood Bowl at the end of a match, it doesn't really tell you the whole story of a game, because it's just everything is averaged out, which really whitewashes any kind of interesting information about the probabilities there and the dice that have been rolled.
So you get more of a narrative sense or whatever of the game here.
Yeah.
You can see there's a big, obviously looking at this game, they got a big gap sort of around 100 with Horror Hordes leaning above, but then at the end, Very High Heels actually shoot ahead after being behind basically the whole game.
Exactly. And so we can look at the events. Unfortunately, it's not that easy, at least that I have found, to be able to find where the turn numbers are, because these numbers from 0 to whatever, 250, are based on, I believe, the event numbers. But the fives...
Everything that happens is just wrong.
But the sevens and these first columns should apply to turn 7, which is kind of, in my memory of this game, basically it was not really a dice game. It was a game where both coaches played fairly strong robust defenses against one another and fairly strategic attack on their own turns. The only moment that I thought in the whole game that might have been dicey was Booms had defended and screened quite well on the Necro drive, and had put some good pressure with base on the ball on turn 7. And then the ghoul who was based was still able to dodge out, and then having to dodge through a second screen in order to be able to go in for this score. So if we could see that turn, though I can't see that turn. And that's going to bother me.
Do you know if it's reciprocal? So if someone were to power my blodger, is that lucky for them? Is it unlucky for me? Or is it both?
That's a good question. I believe it's only on the dice that the team is rolling.
So it's lucky for the attacker.
So it's lucky for the attacker, yeah. And let's just see where we find... Okay, if we can find... So
we got a kickoff there. There was a kickoff.
There was a kickoff there.
There we
right.
go, yeah.
There was a ball intercept.
There was a pass. Was that a successful intercept? Right. That must be...
Are we looking at... Oh.
Here are these dodges, yeah.
Yeah, see, they are the dodges. All right, we got this now. We'll just edit that whole last bit out. Okay. So shall we try...
Ooh, can you move to the bottom? Did that move you forward a turn by any chance? The little fast-forwardy thing?
Yeah, let's check that out.
Because that would be quite handy.
That would be quite handy. I am going into here. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, so this is... No, it just plays it, yeah. But actually, this one, yeah, should be one. Oh, except it's one action.
What's the double one? Does it go all the way to the end, or does it do a turn? Let's find out. That's the real kicker. The one to the left of the one you're using. Or that one. What does that do?
Gives me a...
What did that do?
What does that do? It breaks everything. Oh, fuck. I just crashed. Would you like to check out the levels for this week?
I would love to.
All right. So, from rebel.net, we can see
2 levels? 3 levels. 4, 5 levels. It's fine. That's loads.
All right. So we had our first match, the Very High Heels versus the Horror Hordes. We only had 1 level out of those 2 teams. Nothing for Mr. Booms. But Jester77 gets Nirvana, the Ghoul. And any guesses what Nirvana would have rolled for his level after getting a touchdown and an interception?
Oh, he got the intercept.
He did indeed.
That intercept pushed him over the edge. My guess would be probably sure hands, possibly sidestep, if it's not a double.
You are so wrong. It was a double.
No. What do you see?
And guard.
Uh-huh. Well, Necro loved their guard. I bet he's very happy to have a blodge guarder on the team.
Yeah. Neither of the whites having guard yet with Pantera, despite dying. And Slayer also, his replacement for the other dead one who died to Viking Cop's lovely double GFI snake. So no.
Oh yes. Oh, what a video! Just to run to that. So is Jester? Is he paying white tax instead of flesh golem tax?
Yeah, that could be. So he's playing the white tax instead. And Pantera did get better, but guard on the ghoul. So.
Thumbs up. That's a really good level up for him. If you could pick anything for the team, that would probably be in the top 3 or 4.
Yep, I like a guard ghoul any day of the week. Irwin Door and Dreamify. We had 2 levels for the Tomb Guardian, Eerie Hoor of Old Brothers in Arms, Irwin Door's Khemri team, and Apis. Apis? Apis.
Apiss. Let's go with Apiss.
We'll go with Apis. The skeleton, getting the MVP to level the skeleton. And
This is a real SPP party for a 0-0 bash game.
it's not bad. And then we had also 2 levels on a couple of beastmen. One was badly hurt and still managed the level thanks to a Kaz, and the other with an MVP, Dark Waters, the movement. Any guess what the Tomb Guardian and the skeleton would take?
I would guess that Tomb Guardian. Ooh, he's taken Mighty Blow first on that one, which maybe means he's a Mighty Blow first guy, but it might mean, and I'm going to go for, it's going to be guard.
All right. And
And
skeleton?
then the skeleton, J player for me.
Very good. And the
How did I
two
do? Ooh.
beastmen. Well, we have to pick the 2 beastmen first.
I'm block on both.
Uh,
Maybe show hands on Dark Wars, but I'm going block on both.
Very good. Let's see what we chose. Old Brothers in Arms got indeed Mighty Blow
Oh,
first.
he went for the Mighty Blow. Ah.
And Dirty Player.
Hey! Okay, we got
Hey.
one right. Getting better at this.
And for the 2 beastmen of Dreamify's Dreamguard, indeed block on both.
Block on both. Dreamify, he knows what's up.
He
We're on the
knows
same
what's
wavelength
up.
for me and him. Also, I'd like to point out a couple of things from looking at that game. You've got a piss on one side, but you've got a need to pee on Dreamify's
That's
team.
true. Yeah. A bit of synchronicity. Just like
Those 2 guys are destined to, they're like a dyad.
as Sting once sang about. So we don't have any.
And also, two successful passes on Amun the Thrower. And 2 passes in one game for
It's
agility 2.
I know it sounds a bit crazy to be talking about, throwers getting completions, but it is a Khemri thrower.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good going. And then Viking Cop getting Ian Illusion. This is a bit of a spoiler. You already know what this level is.
Yeah, as an official member of the union, I'm very aware of this
Yes.
level.
And what do you think of the decision to take? He did. All right. Spoiler alert. He did roll plus strength, and took plus strength.
This is like a really specific thing for me. I kind of hate plus strength on a thrower because they're not a thrower anymore because they have so much more useful now as just a strength 4 guy.
Yeah.
Which means sure hands is now kind of weird. I still think it's like probably the right move to take it, but he's now just like a weird player who would be just innately slightly unsatisfying forever.
Yeah. And this is going to be a bit of a weird, very incestuous kind of pro-elf conversation for a couple minutes. We promise we won't go on and on about it. But I hate basically all of Viking Cup's choices on this thriller.
I've got a second thrower who I built block dodge and he'll get to a hand.
Yeah, as a second thrower, it's perfect. So he basically already built the perfect second thrower. If only I would have liked instead now dodge to be there, but
yes.
as a retriever who can go in, and then if you get Nerves of Steel, he can pick up the ball fairly reasonably in tackle zones with sure hands without burning a team reroll, and then with Nerves of Steel and the pass skill, you just toss the ball out from tackle zones to a catcher who runs away with it. It's a great ball retrieval piece. But Viking Cup hasn't built hasn't built an actual thrower with throwing skills, which kind of pisses me off.
And I would say as well, obviously I use my thrower for retrieval and it's great, but strength 4 doesn't really come into that.
No.
That's like a third thing that's going on.
Exactly.
He's a very complicated guy. He could be the star of a TV show that runs for 5 seasons. But
Or he could die.
I think well that's the thing, right? Because he's 20 SPP away from his next level. He's already got a block mighty blow guy, so that's going to be the blitzer. This guy's job is now to like prop up areas and get hit.
It's a fairly good ball carrier if you're going to use it for the running game.
True.
But
that's true. Which I guess you have to play for the running game because you can't really pass very
yeah,
well.
exactly. So well, that's the choice you make.
If you take dodge now, then just have him as like a beast man, but for an elf team or whatever, like a ball carrying ghoul. Look at the distaste in my mouth.
The distaste. All right, and then we can look ahead to week 4 in terms of some quick predictions. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but Dreamify's Chaos against Bumps and his Dark Elves. What do you say there?
I think this is really favourable for the Dark Elves. That's like a rookie Chaos is the dream matchup for any elves.
And
I think
Booms and Dreamify have been early favorites for our picks of the season. Booms has really shown his colors early on. The early favorites, Viking Cop, Dreamify, even Jester, who have all had solid Rebel experience in the top tiers. But yeah, Booms given his record and the way he plays, really solid coach.
And yeah, he's got like 3 dodge or 3 blodgers. Dreamify doesn't have any tackle yet. He's got no mighty blow or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been a bit unfortunate with some of the casualties, but he's got the basis of a very solid team still.
Absolutely.
Just a bit expensive to replace. Jester 77 against, or I should say, Old Yellow's Wretched Wanderers, the WW versus HH Alliteration Derby.
For me, this has got to be Necro because they're already looking great, and it's like 1090 rookie Nurgle.
Yeah, the Nurgle are going to have a long season, but let's say good development season for Old Yellow, hopefully, and then he'll...
Let's hope so. It's looking like, but maybe he's organising games on a Wednesday evening
because he doesn't want to be, caster cursed or something. That's it. And then Old Brothers in Arms versus Kiwi of Irwindor versus Kiwi Boys. We see dead people again, the undead. How are we seeing this one? This is a bit of a dead heat in my view.
The bone off.
Yeah.
As we're not calling it.
Unless we're totally not calling it.
I mean, it's pretty even. They've both got strong guys. This is really tough to call, actually.
Yeah, maybe a draw.
They're not going to get anything. Yeah, let's put that as a 0-0 draw with more completions.
And then finally, Viking Cup's Marvelous Mayhem, our pro elf brethren, and my former Chaos mentor against the orcs of Dr. Nick, Hungry Harmonies. More alliteration between M's and H's this week.
This beautifully named division.
It is very alliterative.
What do you think? For me, this is like, if Viking Cup is finally going to turn it around, this is a great match for it. I love the Orc matchup as pro elves.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty good, especially with facing only one tackle. And that honestly, that tackler, given that he's the agi piece, Corn Slippy, is also his ball carrier. So yeah, you're going to be blitzing likely more often with the Mighty Blow piling on Hamstown. Yes, indeed. All right.
I want to say Bumble of Rashes on air as well.
Buffalo Rushes, yeah, he needs his 1 SPP for the level, and then he can be a terror as well. But basically, I'm gonna say a basic orc team. Still needs, but very close to having the levels on a couple of the black orcs. But Corn
Slippy is the start of a really good player.
Yeah, and I would say it's just lucky that the thrower died in the first game.
It's a blessing. Not even much of a disguise.
No, exactly. All right, we'll catch you guys all next week. And sorry, this was a bit of a weird and abbreviated cast recap, whatever this has been. But yeah, good luck in your games, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
All right, and we're going to pretend that that's the end.
You're ahead of me, Bob.
Oh my God!